Remember projectile motion? It's a form of motion experienced by objects that are launched into the air, and though that object moves under the influence of gravity. Say rocket or a missile cannot be considered a projectile because they carry their own fuel and they have their own navigation, motion, force, things like that. In a projectile, you have initial condition, right? In this example, you throw a projectile with an angle v, with a velocity v, with an angle theta, and with this initial parameters, it moves under the influence of gravity. So what I did is I created the simulation using Excel, and I was quite successful. But when I recorded using my earlier screen recorder software, the quality came out to be pretty poor, right? Because the capture rate of screen was pretty low, and the quality wasn't good at all. So what I did is I switched to a new software called OBS Studio, and it's quite good. So hopefully we'll have a good simulation. Okay, so coming back to this topic, so let's say here this is the object launched with a velocity v, with an angle theta with the horizontal, right? And you can see v would have two components, one horizontal component v cos theta, and a vertical component called v sin theta. So the horizontal velocity v cos theta, as you can imagine, would not be influenced by gravity because it is moving perpendicular to gravity, right? The influence of gravity is zero on this direction, and since we have considered the air drag to be zero, so v cos theta is going to be uniform, right? So it's a uniform motion horizontally. But vertically, it's a different story. Vertically, the object undergoes gravity, and there is a gravitational pull acting against it, right? So there is a gravity minus g, the acceleration minus g, that is acting against it, right? So if you take any point xy on this path, so this is the path of the projectile. It is typically a parabolic motion, and if you take a point xy, where x is the horizontal distance and y is the vertical distance, so x will be, let's say it takes time t to get there, so x would be t times v cos theta, because v cos theta is a uniform velocity, right? So it's initial velocity into time. But why the horizontal distance, sorry, the vertical distance, that's a different story, because vertical distance would be derived from the equation s is equal to ut plus half a t square, because this is undergoing, remember, acceleration, rather in this case retardation, and the formula would be s is equal to ut, u would be v sine theta into t, plus zero point 0.5 into minus g into t square. So this is the equation. So with this, what I did is I plotted, let me take you to the Excel. So I plotted time t in the column A, and it's incrementing by 0.05, right? You can see 0.00, 0.05, 0.1, so on and so forth, right? And using the equation t cos theta, I'm plotting x, right? X is the horizontal distance. Similarly, using the formula ut plus half a t square, right? That formula, which would be t into sine theta minus half into g into t square, right? So, this you can see the equation here. Um, so with this, what I'm doing is I'm plotting the path of the of the projectile, right? So this path is a parabola, right? And what I'm doing is, you see the gray dotted line is the path, and the yellow is the projectile, right? And what I'm doing is the projectile moves along this path. So when I hit this button, the macro would move through these rows and populate x coordinates and y coordinates one by one. So that would actually, in turn, what it would do is it will make this yellow dot move along this path. So let's hit it. So it's pretty neat. We can change the angle. Let's change it to 85 degrees. You can see it's a sharp vertical angle. Let's see how it looks like. You can go completely vertical. Let's make it 90. Let's go back to, let's do 35 degrees and maybe increase the velocity a little bit. Oh, it's completely outside the graph. Let's make it 20. so I've explained how I plotted x and y using the formula, right? Now let's see what's there in the macro, right? Let me open the macro for you. So if you go to the macro, the first part is pretty simple. It's just pausing the simulation, right? If it's continue, you pause. If it's paused, you continue. So it's just to pause the simulation. Now, this is why the logic is that what it's simply doing is it's just incrementing a number one by one, and two events means it's pauses so that we can see the simulation, right? So this is pretty simple. This is just a while loop, just to increase the number of rows, or to traverse through the rows actually, right? And the final part is actually calculating the time it takes to run the simulation. So I'll show this part actually when I run the simulation again. Let's go back, hit it again, right? You can see here it's showing it ran 3 seconds, the simulation. We can pause in between. Let's run it, pause, then run it again, right? This simulation ran 2 seconds. Okay, so what you can do is I'll actually send a link to this Excel file. You can download the file for yourself, play with it, and try to break it. You can put some weird angles, some weird velocity. Even you can change G, and you can definitely break this Excel. But what I would request you is to actually work with it, improve it. You can change the axis, the x-axis, y-axis. You can improve some of the formula and work with it. Thank you so much.